If you or someone you know is struggling or in crisis, help is available. Please call or text 988.
The number is being given today, so we don't have to light this candle to remind us of another life lost to suicide.
There will be better days ahead. You just have to wait for them. There will be better days ahead.
Don't hesitate to reach out to someone right now.
I promise you that you are appreciated and loved.
Depression and anxiety, know that you're not alone.
Need help? I'm going to ask you again. Call 1-800-273-8255. That's 1-800-273-TALK. You can also text or call 988 the Suicide Crisis Hotline. I love you guys. I want you here. Please help each other.
Hello, Cosmos. Thanks for tuning in to the premiere of Cloud 9.5. Sometimes life is like being on Cloud 9, and sometimes life is like being on Cloud 9.5. And today we've got a sadder topic to talk about. This in Cosmos, it's been Suicide Prevention and Awareness Month, so that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the Embracing Hope campaign, and I've got two guests for the show. In a little bit, I'm not bringing them on quite yet, but I'm going to bring on Bethy Allen from Socially Distant Fest and EmEm Farwell from here in Cosmos. And those are the two people that have been managing the Embracing Hope campaign within their respective groups. So can't wait to talk to them. First, I got to celebrate because this is my opening episode, the premiere episode. You can see my kids walking around in the background. They're partying too. They're not partying with this though. Some Ferrante's Cab Franc. Cheers. And with that, I'm going to go on to a clip from Diane Cole. She made just for me for this show. So if we could watch that.
Hey everybody, Diane Cole here. First of all, I want to congratulate Jay Thompson on his new show. And Jay just wanted me to pop in for a few minutes just to talk about how laughter saves lives. It truly does. Laughter, humor has saved lives. And there's a lot of studies and research, and I won't bore you with the details, but I have seen it. And, one laugh can break the cycle of somebody feeling suicidal or very heavily depressed. And it certainly has helped me big time. Those of you, if you are feeling suicidal, if you are feeling really, really depressed, I know sometimes the last thing you want to do is laugh, but put on your favorite sitcom. Watch your favorite stand-up comic on TV. Comics, The Far Side, things like that can really, really help. Or if you've got a friend who's really funny, give them a call because it really will save your life. And I know for me, I learned how to do stand-up, me of all people. And all I can say is humor really helped me by doing stand-up to heal from a partner who was a serial cheater. And, you know, I'm out getting my PhD and he's out frosting someone else's flakes, you know, being cuckoo for more than one Cocoa Puff. So, I mean, it really was a no-brainer just to say cheerio to the old corn pop. And I feel great. And, you know, doing stand-up also helped me heal from being in a relationship with a full-blown narcissist. They do heavy, heavy damage. It is so subtle, but it's really bad. So I actually wrote an 8-minute routine from this guy, and it really helped me heal. Not only to write it, but to get up in front of an audience, and instead of feeling powerless over the damage that was caused, I felt empowered. And, you know, let's face it, you know, when I'm online here, I'm off the clock. So, I mean, a narcissist is just a very nice clinical DSM-5 word for asshole. Fucking asshole. And those people do a lot of damage. But anyway, I'm starting to babble here. You all, consider laughter, consider humor, because every day is a gift. Bye.
Diane Marie is awesome. I love Diane Cole. She's great. So next I'd like to bring up Roy Penland. He's going to help me out with a skit. We're going to do Abbott and Costello's Who's on First?
A classic.
Shortened version of it. The long one is pretty long. So, you ready?
I am. I'm going to do it as Lou Costello. Because I'm a bad boy.
Strange as it may seem, they give ball players nowadays very peculiar names.
Funny names?
Nicknames. Now on the St. Louis team, we have who's on first, what's on second, I don't know is on third.
That's what I want to find out. I want to know the names of all the players on the St. Louis team.
Well, I'm telling you, who's on first, what's on second, I don't know is on third.
You know the fellas' names?
Yes.
Well, then who plays first?
Yes.
I mean the fella's name on first base.
Who?
The fella playing first base.
Who?
The guy on first base.
Who is on first?
Well, what are you asking me for?
I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. Who is on first?
I'm asking you who's on first.
The man's name. That's his name.
That's whose name?
Yes.
When you pay off the player at the end of the month, who gets the money?
Every dollar of it. And why not? The man's entitled to it.
Who is?
Yes.
So who gets it?
Well, why shouldn't he? Sometimes his wife comes down and collects it.
Whose wife?
Yeah, after all, the man earns it.
Who does?
Absolutely.
Well, all I'm trying to find out is what's the guy's name on first base?
Oh, no. What is on second base?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
St. Louis has a good outfield, right?
Oh, absolutely.
The left fielder's name?
Why?
I don't know. I just thought I'd ask you.
Well, I just thought I'd tell you.
Then tell me who's playing left field.
Who's playing first?
Stay out of the infield. The left fielder's name.
Why?
Because.
Oh, he's center field.
Wait a minute. Okay, you got a pitcher on this team?
Wouldn't this be a fine team without a pitcher?
So tell me the pitcher's name.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. You're not going to tell me today. Okay, now listen up. I'm a pretty good catcher. You know, I want to catch for the team. So when a guy gets up and bunts the ball, me being a good catcher, I want to throw the guy out at first base. So I pick up the ball and I throw it to who?
Now, that's the first thing you've said right.
I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Don't get excited. Take it easy.
Okay, so I throw the ball at first base. Whoever it is grabs the ball. So the guy runs to second. Who picks up the ball and throws it to what? What throws it to I don't know. I don't know throws it back to tomorrow. A triple play.
Yeah, it could be.
Another guy gets up, and it's a long ball to center.
Because?
Why? I don't know. He's on third, and I don't care.
What was that?
I said I don't care.
Oh, that's our shortstop.
Classic.
Thank you for helping me out with that, Rory.
Well, thank you. It's a good thing I had done it before.
Yeah. It worked out great. I asked you when you told me you'd done it before. I saw this part and I was like, oh, I got to be Abbott. I love that part. I got to be Abbot. And then you mentioned you'd done it, and I asked, well, what part do you like to do? And you're like, oh, Costello, of course.
I got to do Costello. I look like him.
That was perfect.
And I don't have that gravelly cancer throat that Abbott has. No, don't get excited. Don't get excited.
Yeah.
But you did great. You did a really good straight man. That's what he was. He was the straight man.
Yeah.
Did a good job. I'm kind of sad that I actually agreed to do it because if I had not done it, Renee would have done it. And I kind of wanted to see Renee do Abbott Costello. Maybe you should run it
her on one of these.
with her. Let people see it with her as Costello.
Yeah, I'll have her on a skit one of these times.
I want to see her go.
Yeah. All right. So,
what kind of hair hat would she wear for that?
Well, she'd definitely be wearing a baseball hat. I'm thinking probably the down
there
to
you
here.
Go.
Yeah. So right now we're gonna listen to a word from our sponsors.
Very good.
And now I'm gonna like to bring on 3 guests. One of them you just saw. I'm gonna bring Rory back. Come on back, Rory. And then I'm gonna bring to the screen EmEm Farwell.
Hi guys.
There she is.
Hi. Hi Beth.
Thanks for coming to my show. Thanks for coming to the premiere of Cloud 9.5. Figure everything's great on Cloud 9, but sometimes we're going to talk about some sadder issues. So we're Cloud 9.5 here.
Congratulations on your show.
Thank you. So, Bethy and Em, you are the two who are pretty much managing the Embracing Hope campaign within Cosmos and SDF, right?
Yeah.
I mean, as far as like scheduling events and all that, and just managing the campaign through the group.
Yes, I've really my main thing has just been really EmEm did everything, and I've just shared. Made sure that the content is shared into SDF so that SDF is holding it up.
Yeah. Well, that means a lot because I think SDF's or Cosmos's population right now is around 2,000 or somewhere like that, and I think you guys are like 170,000 or something like that. So we appreciate sharing this campaign in your group because that gets the message out to a whole lot more people. So
absolutely,
that's a big role. We appreciate that.
I can't even remember how it happened, but it did. It was organic, like it wasn't a planned thing. We were just talking, and it happened, and I'm grateful. It's awesome. Yeah, we've all learned a lot too, working together.
Were you the one that started it, Em?
Well, I never take credit for anything. It's a group effort. A bunch of us did. I wanted to do the Suicide Month originally before this, long before this came about, for other reasons. And then it kind of got sidelined because we all got really busy with a bunch of new stuff happening at Cosmos. And so it got sidelined, and then some recent things happened, and I was like, no, we need to do it. Let's just go for it. And so I don't have a pause button. So once I go for it, go big or go home, right?
Right. How many different performances and testimonies were given throughout the month?
Lord. I would say we had about, maybe 10 by the time we're done of other just basic flat out people that scheduled to do them individually. But then we've heard a lot of just in people going live. Everybody's kind of participated and shared the information on their lives and promoted everything. So, gosh, dozens, if you count all those. Not only has it been really powerful and really helpful for this campaign in general, like outside of us, but it's really, I feel like the community was tight, and now we're like, we like know each other, right? We've let the demons out. Here I am.
Yep.
Not much left to hide.
Yeah. This campaign it meant a whole lot to me. I went through the depression and everything all through childhood and everything, or into my early 20s, all through my 20s. And then my dad died at 30 when I was 30. And all through that time, I was going through horrible depression. And especially around 18, 19, 20, that was when I was really just not wanting to live anymore, because at that age, I didn't think anything was ever going to get any better. So that's why I wanted to kill myself back then. So this campaign,
we're grateful that you did not.
Yeah. And this
I think
campaign,
a lot of teens actually at that age, that's the roughest age right there to get through, especially the high school years.
Yeah, they don't really understand that things are going to get any better.
Yeah.
So I was overwhelmed and overjoyed, I should say, when you started this campaign, because it means a lot to me, and I was happy to be a part of it.
Well, and your testimony really saved a life. I mean, literally saved somebody's life. So, Bethy, I don't know if you saw last night, but I got a follow-up on that original email that we got after Jay's performance. And the person just basically said, it was really short and sweet. I just wanted you guys to know I'm doing well. So I thought that was really cool that they followed up with us. And I kind of think I know who it is, but I'm not investigating because they've, respecting their privacy. They haven't come out and said it. So I'm just going to respect their privacy. But it's really made everything worth it, no matter what else. That made it all worth it. Right.
Were there any other success stories that came out of this? I thought I heard Rory. Was there one from you?
There was a couple people from kind of our circle that wrote to me and said that they were glad that I told my story and my perspective, because there were some things that I have gone through that they have gone through, and they just really appreciated that. So,
yeah. That's great.
I don't know if Bethy got any through SDF, but I didn't. That was the only aha, you saved me one that I received, and that was because of your testimony, Jay. But I did receive, especially after yours, Rory's, actually after all of them, I received some sort of messages, and they were all very positive, and they were like, thank you so much. I can relate to that. I'm very grateful. I don't feel so alone. So even if it wasn't a blatant, you saved my life, we did really touch a lot of people. Everybody that participated touched a lot of people this month.
That's good. That's something to be proud of.
I did want to touch on one thing. There was someone who yesterday brought to my attention that these campaigns had opened up her eyes to the 988 number, and she struggles deeply with PTSD from combat. And she said, I've years and years I've gone through this and thought that this number was strictly for suicide. But I've been able to call it recently and them just talk me through any kind of personal struggles that I'm having. And it's helped so much. So she was like, it's not just strictly a suicide hotline. Like, they can talk you through any kind of personal crisis that you're having, and even just be someone to talk to that you need in a crisis moment.
That's brilliant.
Good.
Bridget, I'm gonna get it right, I swear. Bridget said she actually called them for different reasons. She talked about it in her testimony, but she wanted to see what kind of questions they asked and what they did and how they followed up in the conversation. And she actually ended up talking to the guy for quite a while. So that was an interesting perspective. If nobody has seen her testimony, go back. It's on SDF and on Cosmos, because it was brilliant. Also, I just want to say a note, because we brought up 988, and I said this last night. Recently, in the news, they've been saying a lot of the smaller communities are really inundated with calls beyond what they expected. And the 988 number is sometimes being flooded because they don't have the resources in these smaller areas. So please, please keep the other number with you if you need it. It's 1-800-273-8255 or 1-800-273-TALK. The 988 number you can text or call, and then the 1-800 number you can just call. I just wanted to make that disclaimer.
That's good. You answered it.
And something else you said last night was because they're undated, sometimes you can't get through on the line. And if you can't get through on the line and you need to talk to somebody right away, yeah, it's good to have the other number.
Call, yeah. Yeah, don't be deterred. Don't be deterred. Keep fighting.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. You answered one of the questions I had about what was the number, any other numbers that we could call. So I'd also like to hit on who, if anybody wants to donate, who can we donate to?
So we're donating to NAMI.org, and the actual link for our campaign, it doesn't matter. A lot of people donated to just NAMI.org, but the actual campaign is donate.nami.org/embracing hope. But that's long, so NAMI.org. I can put it in the comments after.
That's good. Can each of you say a thing or two to the people out there right now that are struggling right now?
Just keep going. Like, it might seem like things can't get better, and it might take a little bit before they do, and sometimes they even get worse, but there is something that is worth it at the end of this. I'll get emotional. I didn't get a chance to do my testimony, and I'm not going to do it here, but it is really close to my heart. And yeah, there's things that you might not foresee, grandchildren or whatever it might be, that it's going to come and you're going to miss it. So just push through this, and there are people that can help you.
Yeah.
I can. I think my biggest thing is, if you're reaching out, if you get to the point where you're ready and you reach out to get help and you don't get the response or the connection that you need in that moment, don't give up. Please keep trying. I know I say I'm around 24/7 and everybody knows that I am, but if I'm in the middle of something else, I may not get to it. And it's the same for everybody out there. It doesn't mean they're not there or they're not listening. Please just keep trying. Knock on doors, call numbers, reach out to friends, go someplace where it's public. Whatever you have to do in that moment, do it. Don't give up, because we care. You matter.
Yes.
I think they're the two things that I have learned this year, as far as what causes people to think maybe I could leave this world, and that it won't miss me, that kind of thing. One is this is kind of an epidemic on its own. The dark, depressing news that people are watching all the time on their phones and their iPads.
True.
The dark news is what sells, unfortunately, and it's not a dark world out there, and you need to get out there and see that there's so much beauty out there, and there are a lot of caring people out there that you could meet if you get out of your room, get out of the darkness, go out. I mean, if you got to put a mask on, that's fine, but get out there. That's what the therapists are telling my daughter. Get some sunshine, get out there, get some fresh air. Go see life as it really is, not the darkness that's on your iPad and your phone all the time. Exactly. And the other thing is, kids, particularly teens, sometimes feel like when there's arguments going on around them and things aren't going perfect at home, they think that they might be the cause of that they might be a burden, that they might be, the reason that things are not so good. That's not true. And don't let your dark thoughts trick you into believing that that's true. Okay. You do have a lot of self-worth. Okay. Everybody does. Everybody has something special about them. You're no exception. And again, there will be better days. You just have to get through the depression. You have to get through the darkness, and it will happen. You will get better. You can get the right medication to help you feel better. You can get therapy. Insurance covers a lot of that. And again, there will be better days. And that's what I said in the promo. That's the one thing that EmEm took from my words before, to put in the promo, is that there are brighter days ahead. You just got to wait for them. They'll come.
Mm-hmm.
They will. And on that note, don't let insurance or money be the reason you don't reach out for help. There are so many programs. NAMI can help you. Social services can help you. The 1-800 number, the 988 number. There are services that will help you. And we had Diane Cole on, and she had talked about how many therapists and counselors will work with you. So please don't let, I don't have the money. You need your help. It would be no different than if you had a physical ailment. You need to take care of yourself. So please, please do.
Absolutely. And I have to agree with Roy on going out into nature. That's part of the reason I'm so big on going out into nature all the time. It helps me. I go out there and you just see the trees, hear the sky, all the creatures in the trees, the tree frogs and all that, and it helps you, especially if there's water.
And you've got some great places close to you.
He does.
I'm really lucky.
So this is just my opinion. I'm not, a therapist by any means, but I always like to say that my PTSD is an abuser. It abuses me. If you follow the traits of what an abuser does, that is what your mental illness will do, right? So isolate you, keep you down, it takes away your self-esteem, controls everything you do and say, right? You have to follow those same steps, which what do we say? Get away from it. So go out, right? Go where there's other people, where there's other things. You need to, So I just want that's how I look at it when I'm in those moments. No, because it empowers me if I think of it as, for some reason, the fighter in me says, oh, hell no, I'm not going to be controlled, right? So then that gives me that. I just have to look. So just find what works for you, because that's not going to work for everybody. So you have to find sorry, that's my mom. You have to find that trick that works for you. And it's there, and it takes a lot of work. I said last night, I have a huge toolbox. If I had to really carry around this virtual toolbox, I'd have to have an army. So you'll find it. Just do the work. It takes work.
It takes a lot of courage on that, because I know when you're in those moments, you don't really want to go out. You don't want to listen to anybody. Like you said, you should kind of shut down. So it takes a whole lot of courage and get myself up and going to try and, okay, let's go take a walk, get out there. But that's something to be proud of.
And I mean, we're lucky enough. We live in the nature, so that's our solace. But for some people, it's not. Some people, it's the city or, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Find your thing.
So let me see. I got a couple more.
If I lived in New York, I'd be in Central Park a lot. I love Central Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what. If you're in a park or a city, there's got to be some parks around, or somewhere where there's a body of water. Hopefully, something.
Well, we all know I live in the woods, so out in the middle of nowhere. But I actually love the city too. My husband, not so much, but I love the city. I can be anywhere. I really can enjoy wherever I'm at.
Sounds like Green Acres.
How do we change the stigma that comes along with having mental health problems or physical health problems that cause us a lot of health issues, and then people don't want to go to get the help, or they're afraid of what people are going to think. Like if you have a mental health issue and everybody's just going to label you as crazy. How do you think we can work on fixing that?
I think telling our stories is a big part. Everyone sharing their personal stories of mental health, because I mean, here's the thing. It's like, to me, and I guess there are people out there who would say maybe they've never struggled with mental health issue, but it's like your body, like you get sick, your mind gets sick, and it happens. From my perspective, it seems like everyone has some story to tell of a personal mental health issue that they've struggled with. And I think that starting by not being ashamed of those things and sharing your stories makes other people feel less alone. You know, like, oh, well, everyone struggles with these issues. Well, of course they do. It's like, who's never had a cold, or, you know, we all get sick and all of our minds get sick. And by sharing those stories more, I think that stigma falls away.
Yeah, definitely hear more of it.
Too, when you think, Jay, like you're really open with your children, right? I'm open with Linda Rose. I've taught Linda Rose to talk about it. Rory's talking about it with his daughter. Bethy's very open. I think that the next generation will be hopefully more empowered to at least to keep the discussion going, right? And I think Bethy's right. That's what's going to lead to the change.
Well, and to understand what's happening when it's happening too, you know.
Right.
Exactly.
And I agree. Nobody, you know, if I met somebody that said, "Oh, I've never had any," I'd be like, "Okay, any minute this person's going to explode. They're going to like spontaneously combust." I'd be a little nervous. They might be like,
right.
We're all connected to Kevin Bacon in 4 moves.
Exactly.
But when you're having a bad day, what is it that gets you through a bad day? What just little things helps you get through it?
Coffee.
Yeah, I'm big on tea myself.
Thinking about tomorrow sometimes. And sometimes just thinking about that very moment that you're in. If that very moment that you're in isn't the terrible moment that you're thinking about, because generally it is something in the past or something in the future that is causing depression, something that you're dreading coming, or something that you can't get over. So living in that exact moment that you're in and being grateful for that moment that you're in, even if it's the mundane work stuff, typing on your computer or whatever, living in that moment is going to cause you to not be living in the past and dreading the future. And I think that's pretty helpful, just to try to practice mindfulness as much as possible.
Right.
So for me, there's so many things, but the number one thing for me when I'm really down, there's 2 things. If it's physical leading to the mental, like my body's just not working properly and I can't physically get out of bed or do what I want to do, then it's music, talking, making other people smile. A lot of times that is online because that's all I have in that moment, right? But if I can make you smile or hear your story of success or how great your day was, it says to me, okay, tomorrow maybe I'll have that day, right? Like I'm going to keep going. Right. And then if it's my mental stuff, I have to almost be my own, my own sergeant and be like, get up, get moving, follow your schedule. I have to adhere to be as much as normal as I can. So even though I don't want to drag myself out of bed and take a shower, guess what? That's what I would do any other day. So that's what I'm going to do. Mm-hmm. And it's hard. It's really hard. Who wants to be like, nobody wants to feel that way, first of all. And nobody wants to be like, I need somebody to come in and kick my ass to get me up to the shower, right? Like nobody wants to do that or say those things, but that's what works for me. I just need to have that normalcy, no matter how hard it is. Right. I just have to do it. Mm-hmm. I might still sound like shit though after I take my shower, but I'll just go on to the next thing, right? And hopefully by the time I've gone through one and fought through another, hopefully each one gets a little easier, and then the light will shine at the end of the tunnel, or it won't, and I start over again the next day.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Roy?
What she said. Music, yeah, music is definitely something that that gets me in the good mood again. I know this kind of goes back on what I said earlier, but I do like to watch YouTube. I like to watch funny clips on YouTube, which gets me back in a better mood, like old stuff. I like painting and writing, so I mean those things get me in a good mood too when I'm doing the things that I like to do to create. And again, what EmEm said, about making other people laugh. I mean, if I can make other people laugh, that makes me happy. I mean, I feel I've done something good, so it makes me feel good about myself. So yeah.
Yeah.
I think just don't put all the pressure on yourself, right? Like we put a lot of pressure on. I feel like it's getting better. I don't think we are more aware of that with our own children, and then with our future generations, it gets a little better. But we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, and we don't have to fix everything ourselves. And I don't have to be the only success. Like my whole entire existence doesn't need to be based on my success. I can enjoy Bethy's success. I can enjoy Jay's success. I can be excited for Rory, right? And feed off that. I mean, it helps to not just isolate yourself, like everything comes down to you, and not in a narcissistic way, just how we were raised. Like you have to be, you're a success or you're a failure, right? Like there was no in between.
Well, that's good. I think a lot more people need to think that way. For me, getting through a rough time, like Roy said, everybody knows music gets me through it. I'll pick something. Sometimes it's usually darker stuff that gets me through it, but every now and then it's something happier. A lot of times I like to turn to Facebook. I'll get online and I'll start chatting with all my friends here, and usually just talking to you guys makes me real happy. So that usually helps. And surefire thing that always seems to help for me is the cats. I got like 4 of them around here, and I can always just grab any one of them and give them a good squeeze, and I feel better.
The emotional support cat works very well for my daughter.
Yeah.
She likes the emotional support cat.
I have lots of animals.
They've definitely got me through tough times. So what was it like working together on one campaign? Any difficult issues, or was it anything that was really memorable?
Oh God, working with EmEm. Jeez.
Girl Sergeant.
Yeah, she's very, very, I did find that we worked really well together. It was super easy, and I would love to do it again, honestly. She was saying that she didn't remember how it came about, but I kind of do. And it was, we had just lost Onid in SDF. And so that was something that me and EmEm had been talking through a lot of stuff, and, with the group, and how things should be handled, just kind of seeking advice and things like that, and talking things through. And I knew that this campaign was coming up. It's something that she had spoken to me about, and I think it's needed, period, anyways. Always. Pre-pandemic, it was a need. Obviously, post-pandemic, it's even a bigger need. I know that a lot of people in SDF, a lot of those people, and in Cosmos, are people, some of them are people who can't go out, or they're not around a lot of people. And that's not the case for all of us, obviously, but it is for a lot. And a lot of us are struggling with mental health issues. And then we lost someone, and it was like, that's really, really hard and rough, and in a very traumatic kind of way for the group as well. So I wanted to do some kind of compilation of events or whatever, like work on some kind of project with Cosmos forever, but I've just been kind of waiting for the right moment to kind of try to slip it in. And I didn't want to do it in a way where I was trying to be like, oh, you should bring it over here, but instead just, I really wanted it to be a support thing where it was something we did together. And because we do love Cosmos so much, SDF loves that part of the community, and it's it's an extension. It's all works together, and we're all family. So it only made sense, and it was very, like she said, organic and natural.
Yeah, I didn't have any issues at all. I mean, I can't think of, even when we had somebody not show or whatever, it was like just somebody else. It just worked. It was like the whole thing was organic. We didn't really have to. Once that initial like scheduling and getting everybody, because everybody at once was like, that was a lot at first, but then it was just flowed once everybody realized what we were doing and understood what we were doing. Yeah, it went really well. And I'm working on Bethy because we need like a group event in person.
I'm going to say, is there anything else, do you think you guys might work together on future projects?
I'm sure.
I'm definitely open for it. Yeah, I'm sure it will happen.
I'm not going to tell you.
Oh, the suspense.
I'm sure we will.
Don't let the emotional cat out of the bag.
I've got the sunset coming through, and it's turning me into a ghost. All right, so we're coming up on the end of the show here. Are there any links, any characters or shows or anything that you would like to promote? Any events, anything going on? Anything you want to talk about?
We have Orchid Time Season 2 coming on October 5th. Make sure you come back and watch Cloud 9.5 on the 9th because Jake Allen will be here. And I'll let Rory talk about his.
So, every Tuesdays and Thursdays, General Howitzer's Big Monster Briefing Room. We poke fun at movies. And every Wednesday I do Painting with Rory, where we do trivia questions while I paint something. And that's always a lot of fun because Sandy D's running the show. And we can usually get people to come on and guest and have fun with us. Of course, you got Burn It Down on Mondays with Tom Cheshire. Also, I wanted to say before we go, I was just so happy that, I talked earlier about all the darkness that's out there on the internet. I mean, when you talk about social media, though, and the groups that have been created with SDF and Cosmos and KMH and all the different groups that have come together and formed these wonderful bonds, these relationships, these are our support groups. These are the happy places. So it's just wonderful. And I'm so grateful that they're here because there is a lot of darkness out there. And it just kind of pokes a hole and sheds light into otherwise a kind of a murky situation.
Yeah.
So, I agree. I forgot, but Bridget just posted up Crime Night. There's going to be a Crime Night. It's a new show with Alana Lang. And that's going to be on October 3rd at 10 p.m. I believe it's 10 p.m. Sorry. I didn't want to forget. I should know that since I'm on.
Yeah, that was good. Next month, we got Jay's Jam Fest coming up next month. Will be our Halloween show. I think I still have one spot left to book on that, so I got to find out who the people are that like to dress up.
Jake and Bethy have a big Halloween bash coming up too.
Yeah, I saw that.
We do, yeah.
Pick me.
Yeah, I'd love to join that too.
I want to be part of that.
So
that's one of our yearly staple events because we've kind of slimmed down our events so we can put a lot into those. And Halloween is SDF loves Halloween, so we will definitely be doing that show.
That'll work out perfect.
And you got the Drunkles on Friday night.
Yeah.
Yes, Drunkles every Friday night.
Yes, Drunkles.
Oh, that'll be a great weekend.
Ruby.
Yeah.
Drunkles will be Friday
Ruby
night.
Ray on Sundays.
Yeah, bitching in the kitchen.
So that Halloween, we'll have the Drunkles on Friday, Jay's Jam Fest on Saturday, and then the SDF Halloween show on Sunday.
Yeah, awesome.
There's a special episode of Belongs to the Shadows with Jamie. I think it's going to be Friday, but I'll double check that. I'll put it in the comments. I'll try to list everything in here.
Yeah, I'll have to double check on
a Halloween special promo thing.
Got several shows coming up.
I think my this show will be a week before Halloween, I believe. I'll have to double check the schedule, but either way, I'll probably be dressed up.
And you know I got costumes.
Oh yeah.
Don't forget, listen, we can always use help on Cosmos. Anybody that wants to do production or learn directing or run a show or be a guest. We have the game show, which we kind of do random. It's not like a weekly thing. And then we have Em would love to have people that know anything about social media or website because she's doing both. And it's I would love that. Come on, join us.
Yeah, we're a quickly growing team. Hopefully we can turn this into something really special. So the more people that we can get to help us, the better.
Yeah, we pay in bearing friendships. That's
So with that, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. Thanks for being my guest on my show, Bethy, Em, and Rory. Thank you, Rory, for joining me with the skit with Who's On First. That was a lot of fun.
That was fun.
Make sure you guys please like and comment. Go to YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I will be back in 2 weeks at 5 o'clock with Jake Allen, and we'll be talking about his journey with SDF.
Thanks, Jay. Awesome.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody at home. I'll see you guys next.
Good to see you all again.
Bye, y'all.
Much love.